Alright, what's going on, guys? This is your boy Chili. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. The title says UFC 96 Picks and Predictions, and the reason being is, yes, I play Destiny. That's primarily what I upload. I'm also an avid MMA fan. Have trained before, and I wanted to do a picks and predictions. Now, the fights are about to start on UFC Fight Pass like any minute now, so I'm trying to get them in before that. I'm going to go through the entire card very quick. I had to work this Saturday, so I wasn't able to do what I originally wanted to do, which was going to be like an advanced breakdown before the fights happen. But anyways, I'm going to be looking at my computer to see the matchups. I actually just watched the weigh-ins, which is probably what I'm going to be doing with this series. I really like to see if fighters look really drained out or, like, you know, look really bad. It shouldn't be as much as a problem now with the IV ban, and that's something for a whole other conversation. Some people may not know what the hell I'm talking about. Other MMA fans may get it, but just bear with me on the content of the video and what I'm saying. But anyway, starting off, we have Julian Erosa from the most recent Ultimate Fighter versus Teruto Ishihara. Honestly, seeing Erosa on the show, he has a big frame for the division, so I'm going to go with Julian Erosa, probably via a decision on the show. I don't know how much he's improved since the show, but he was very green on the show, in my opinion, so going to go out there and say that. Now, Jason Sago and Justin Salas, I apologize if I butcher any of the names. I'm going through this very fast. That's a tough one. Don't know too much about either one of them. I think I've seen Salas fight a couple times. So with that being said, I want to go with Salas just because I know that he has been in the UFC for quite some time. Kind of been up and down, but with that being said, hopefully he picks up this victory. Actually, I'm actually looking at it now, so he goes win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. So he's probably going to win. We'll have to see if this other guy, Sago, is really good. And wrapping up the UFC Fight Pass card, we have a fight that probably should have happened years ago with Diego Sanchez and Jim Miller. Now, in terms of just previous performances, I'm going to go with Jim Miller. Jim Miller in his last fight actually looked pretty good. He did end up getting choked out, I believe, by Michael Chiesa, and Diego Sanchez lost his last fight to Ricardo Lamas at 145, and I think coming back up to 155 he'll look a little bit better, but I still think Jim Miller is still he's not as battle torn. I mean, he's had a lot of fights, don't get me wrong, but Diego Sanchez is, in my opinion, is really starting to wear the damage from the fights that he's had. He just seems to be a little bit slower. Still a great fight, still an awesome fight between two veterans, but I'm still going to go with Jim Miller. So getting into the Fox Sports 1 card, the prelim card that I'm about to watch in a bit, Darren Elkins versus Chas Skelly at featherweight. I know that Chas Skelly is relatively new. Darren Elkins has been around for quite some time. I actually watched him fight here. I actually watched his debut in Colorado against Dwayne Ludwig when he broke, and I don't know if he broke his knee, or not his knee, but his ankle, rather. I can't remember exactly, but he messed up his ankle in that. That was his premiere, and ever since then I've kind of thought, you know, really good wrestler, grinder type guy, but sadly, I don't know if he gets it done tonight. I know Skelly is undefeated. I saw that recently. I don't necessarily recognize some of the names that he's fought, but being undefeated, this is the first big step up in competition. I'm going to go with Skelly. I'm going to go with the long shot on this one. I see him probably either finishing Elkins or Elkins getting the decision. I know Elkins is a grinder. The next fight we have in the middleweight division, we have two Brazilians, Marcelo Guimarães versus Vitor Miranda. Again, I apologize if I butcher the names. Vitor Miranda, I feel like, has been in the UFC for quite some time. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up, but I want to see. That's an interesting thing. I have to come back and look at that name. Anyways, let me check out Vitor Miranda. Vitor Miranda actually hasn't been in the UFC as long as I thought. I'm still going to go with him. I saw that his victory over Clint Hester, and Clint Hester is someone I had followed since the Ultimate Fighter, so I'm going to go with Vitor Miranda on this one. I think it'll be a close fight. Again, I just don't know too much about them at the moment, so that's going to be an interesting one. Now, the next fight is at welterweight. It is Nordine Talib versus Eric Silva, and Eric Silva in his fight against Colorado fighter right now, I can't think of his name. Big, tall, welterweight, black guy, fights in the UFC. Just beat, man, what's his name? I'm going to kill myself because I consider myself an avid fan of Colorado MMA, and I can't think of his name right now. Hold on, let me check it. I'm on Wikipedia. I can look at it real quick. Neil Magny, that's it. Coming off that loss to Neil Magny, he really looked soft. I know a lot of people speculated maybe it was PEDs. I don't know. I'm still going to go with Nordine Talib. I know Talib, ever since the Ultimate Fighter, was kind of this huge prospect that a lot of people thought. Know that he's trained at TriStar. I've known that since he fought on the Ultimate Fighter. He did lose to Warley Alves, who's like one of the best prospects right now at 170. So, but ever since then, he's kind of a decision machine. I don't know. 3-1 in the UFC. It's a big step up, I think, for both of them. Eric Silva really needs to put him away to make a statement. But I'm gonna go Talib. I think Eric Silva kind of had his moment in the spotlight, and I'll eat my words if I'm wrong. I'll eat crow. But anyways, we go on to the next one, and we're actually looking at Siar Bada. Okay, I can't say his name. Bahadurzada. That's the guy who I remember in his premiere he knocked out Pablo Tavares, and knocked him out with one punch. He's had 2 rough fights since then. I know that he lost to Dong-Yun Kim. I know that he lost more recently. Not more recently. That was 2013. He hasn't been out. He's been out almost 3 years. Okay, so ring rust. I'm definitely going with Brandon Thatch. Bias because I'm from Colorado. Brandon Thatch was a big local guy. I've seen pictures of some of the guys I used to train with posting with Brandon Thatch. So I know he's from Denver. I know he's been fighting on the local scene for quite some time now. He's coming off 2 losses, so it is kind of interesting. Both of them coming off losses. Brandon Thatch having lost to Gunnar Nelson and then to Ben Henderson. He looked good against Ben Henderson. He just got beat out by a more experienced fighter, and then Gunnar Nelson just caught him and choked him out. I think Bahadurzada will put up a good showing, but just ring rust everything. I'm going to go with Brandon Thatch. Moving along, I'm going to go to the next fight right here. We have Amanda Nunes versus Valentina Shevchenko. Now, I know Shevchenko is the lady who has beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Joanna champion, since no one can say her last name. But Amanda Nunes looked amazing in her last fight. I believe she fought Sarah McMahon and absolutely just beasted on her. Amanda Nunes looked good against Colorado girl Kat Zingano, and even though she lost that fight, she looked really good for the first round. So I really think that if she wins this, she gets the title shot, probably against Holly Holmes, maybe Miesha Tate. But anyways, I'm going to go with Amanda Nunes just based on UFC experience, and she seems right now to just be on fire. If Valentina shuts her down, I think that'll be a huge statement. Next fight, we're going with Corey Anderson versus Tom Lawler. Going to be going with Corey Anderson. Big prospect in the light heavyweight division. I think Tom Lawler is really good, but I think that he should be back down at middleweight. I know the cut's hard. He's kind of that in-between guy where the cut's pretty big for him to make to 185. At 205, though, he looked good. He knocked out I can't even say his name, Vellante, in his last fight. But that was a fight that he was arguably losing, and he came back. Still impressive, but I'm just going to go with Corey Anderson. Good wrestling, good range. Fight after that, Jillian Vellante versus Alir Latifi. Now, I know Alir Latifi just won via first-round KO. That was a big, impressive fight. However, Gian Vellante, I can't say his name. I'm butchering it. That sucks. Trains with Chris Weidman, been lifelong friends with him, longtime friends rather. I don't know if lifelong, but was looking good in his last couple fights. Beat Corey Anderson via TKO, and then was looking good against Tom Lawler and got caught. It was unfortunate, but I still think that momentum will carry over. Whoever wins this fight, I think, will be right on the cusp of a top 15 appearance in the light heavyweight division, and probably look for a big step up for them to fight. So running out of time on my video. Anyways, we're at the co-main event, Holly Holm versus Miesha Tate. Holly Holm coming off the biggest win of her career against Ronda Rousey. Miesha Tate hasn't lost in 2 years and has looked really good against everybody. Sarah McMahon, she had a comeback victory. Jessica I mean, looked good in all of those. 2 outstanding fighters, 2 fantastic female fighters, in my opinion. You know, good ambassadors for the female sport, especially Holly Holm, the preacher's daughter. I mean, she's just been spectacular, even in her humble victory over Ronda. I'm going to go with Holly Holm. I just think the momentum's too much right now. She's a well-experienced champion, multiple-time boxing, kickboxing champion. She's just got that champion's composure, and she's going to be winning for quite some time, I think. And then finally we get to the main event, Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz. Now, the whole speculation, did Conor McGregor punch Nate Diaz's hand at the press conference? Weigh-ins, you saw him, he got him to jump. It's going to be very interesting. But short notice fight, I really just think Conor right now is at the peak of the game. He's just playing on top of the world. But that's going to be the end of the video. I'm sorry for the very quick predictions. I wanted to do it right before the fight started, and they started 6 minutes ago. So hopefully when I upload those, people see. Don't know any of the results yet. I haven't watched anything, but hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I'm going to be watching the fights. Team McGregor tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the predictions. Something new for the channel. If you guys enjoyed it, leave me a thumbs up down below. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.